Hey y'all, this is Asia. This is gonna be a recap situation of Insecure, season 3, episode 1. I'm so excited that this show is back. I wanted to make this a video, but stuff wasn't working out. And then now, as you can hear, my neighbor wants to blast music so loud. But we're gonna see if this audio is usable. Okay, so the first thing we see, I always love when they do these kind of like shots of the city. I've never been to LA, but I don't know, I like the way they shoot LA. They just make it look like someplace cool, you know, that you want to go to and experience. Like the parts that they show are not parts that you typically see, I guess, in movies and things like that. So it's pretty cool. But then yeah, we get aerial shots of the city and then an aerial shot of Daniel's booty as he's like rabbit humping on some chick. I thought it was Issa, like probably everybody else did. We think it's Issa for a second, and then we quickly realize that it's not her because we see her on the couch with a pillow over her head. I mean, Daniel, you ain't shit for that. Like, I really like Daniel. I hope he's not gonna be the Lawrence of this season. Like, you know how Lawrence, we all liked Lawrence until he started being a fuckboy. Please don't make me hate Daniel. Like, he's fine and sexy and everything. Like, please don't make me hate him. Insecure writers, please. But yeah, you know, I didn't think it was very extra petty. And I think, you know, the girls being extra loud too to be extra petty. But that's, you know, that's a whole other thing. Cause we don't really know anything about her character yet. I don't know if they're gonna actually have her be a part of the story, but it seems like it. But yeah, so, you know, Issa gets up off the couch and she grabs her phone and gets in her car, starts driving. She pulls over, somebody gets in, and I guess apparently she's a Lyft driver, so the guy gets in and like throws up in her car immediately because she's got like the best luck ever. If anything like this is gonna happen, it's gonna happen to Issa. That happened. What happened next? So then we cut to a scene with Molly, and she is on a beautiful island, just on the beach, just with a drink in hand and a sun hat, like, you know, white, like cream, one piece bathing suit. Like, she's just like extra fabulous. Like, I don't know. I just love Molly. Like, when she does it, she's like, I'm gonna do it. Okay. But yeah, she's on the beach, and then we see this guy come over and kind of talk to her, and it, you know, this is her vacation bay, I guess, and he's, you know, wanting to get together when they get back to the States, and she's like mistaking him for a local, asking him about a visa. I'm like, girl, he has no kind of accent nowhere. Like, where, like, Molly is too much. But anyway, so yeah, then I think basically she kind of, you know, okay, yeah, that was it. Then we get a scene with Issa and Daniel, like the morning after he has his hump session with whoever the girl is. I think we learn her name is Vanessa. But yeah, after that, you know, he comes back, or she comes back, or wherever, and they have this little talk where she's like, you do know I was here last night, right? And he's like, yeah. Well, what's your point? Like, what's the problem? Like, he gave her that kind of look. He didn't say it, but he was just like, yeah, like, he's petty as fuck. I'm not feeling Daniel. Come on, like, how? Like, you know that's fucked up, Daniel. Like, you know that's fucked up. Okay, so then we see a little bit of Issa's life. We see a little bit of Issa's office life. Basically, a lot of people are firing "We got y'all," and from what they're saying, nobody cares, but clearly, somebody should care. So then later on, we see Issa kind of, starting to look into that a little bit more. A really fun thing that happened in this episode was we got like a little cameo from Dawn Richard. We knew her back from Danity Kane or whatever. Then I think she was, what was it, Dirty Money with Diddy and Kalima. What was her name? You know the one that was on Love and Hip Hop. But yeah, we get like a little cameo of her in some plastic pants that sound like two, rubber balloons rubbing together. It was so funny. Like, they emphasized the sound of her pants every time she moved. And she basically played this like ridiculous singer, that's in the studio with what's the name? Daniel. Just a whole bunch of babies, and she's not even like, properly in front of the mic. She's dancing around doing the most. But yeah, it was kind of funny. And it was nice to see her. Like, when I saw her, I was like, oh my gosh, it's Dawn. Like, I did not think that was her from inside the booth until she came out of the booth. And I'm like, wait a minute, I know you. So then we get Issa and Molly reuniting when Issa picks Molly up at the airport. And like, it's just really cute to see them together again. Like, I didn't realize that I missed seeing them together until I saw them together again. So that was cute. They were cracking jokes, and they went and got something to eat. So while they're at the restaurant and, they're talking, she basically fills Molly in on what Daniel is doing, like fucking other girls when she's right in the next room. And, she's like, damn, he's doing all of that. And, they're chopping it up or whatever. So, then they get to talking about why she couldn't stay with Molly. And they're basically talking about a fight from 2005, y'all. Like, what? Molly's place. And there's still contention to this day. Because, like, even their whole posture and everything changes when they, start talking about this vase that got broken. So it was pretty funny. That's the reason why they can't live together. But I guess that would be the reason for Molly and Issa not to live together, right? It had to be something extra petty, just like them. So it was pretty fitting. But yeah, then so this reboot, they always do a show within the show. What was it last year? I don't remember what it was last year. I think it was the slave, the kind of underground-ish type show, or was that the season before? I can't remember. But I love the shows within the shows, especially that one. This one is like a mashup of A Different World, Living Single, Martin, like the guy from Ron Johnson from A Different World was in it. Maxine Shaw, attorney at law, aka Erica Alexander, was in it. And then there was Bill Bellamy. Why did I want to say Flex? It was Bill Bellamy though. It was Bill Bellamy. But yeah, it's them three. And you could just tell from the set and everything that they were doing that it was like a mashup of all those 90s shows. And it seems like it's going to be pretty funny to see them do this show within the show this season. And it's playing on the TV of, I think, Daniel's sister, who's like braiding her, I guess, daughter's hair. And, they start talking about how long Issa's been there because she wants him to watch, her daughter that night, I guess. And they get to talking about how long Issa's going to be there, and, how sisters are. She's basically like giving him that look like, like you on some bullshit. That girl is staying with you for a reason. Trying to play it like he has everything under control, but his sister doesn't believe that, I guess. She kind of is skeptical, I guess, is the best word I could use about the whole situation. And she probably should be. And we get a kind of scene where we see like Daniel kind of working on his music, and I don't know, I guess they're trying to give us a little more of Daniel on his own, which is, I guess, nice. Like, maybe he'll be kind of stepping in where Lawrence kind of was. So it'll be interesting to see as the season goes on. But yeah, we see him like doing his music. We see him kind of drinking as he's working, and he's kind of getting hype. He's getting inspired. You know, he's going through his motions, and then Issa comes in and he doesn't realize it. And she teases him a little bit about, you know, him drinking and the way he was dancing when she walked in. And it, you know, it's like they have a little cute moment. And she's like, yeah, you know, can I have some of that? So she has some of his drink, or she pours herself some of his bottle. And I think they like start talking again, and basically he ends up trying to go in for a kiss, which she curbs. And I was like so shocked that she curbed it, because yeah, like I don't know, I just thought that she wanted that, you know what I mean? So yeah, she curbs him, and he's like, I'm confused, as was I too was confused. So I was right there with Daniel, like, yeah girl, why you not getting none? Like, what are you doing? I guess it's saying like, oh, we know better, meaning like she thinks it's gonna be a messy situation or something. And he kind of asks her like, okay, but you could have stayed anywhere, so like, why are you here? And she's just kind of, you know, well, you know, you're close to work. And he's just looking at her like, oh my god, like, you're so full of it. I guess she needs somebody that's gonna be there for her, and why not him? You know, they actually were friends. And I think she said something to that effect, like, you know, if it's anything that we had, you know, at least friendship. So I thought I was staying here as a friend. So then we get this scene with Molly on the kitchen counter, and we got Dre, what is it, Dre or Dro, with his face in the place. And I could have sworn she said she wasn't gonna mess with him no more. Like, what? Of course, you know, she couldn't stick to it, because that wouldn't be Molly. Post-coital cuddle, and I can't even get it out. The post-coital cuddle was quite nauseating. Like, I did not, it was like, ew. If you, it's just a bad idea in general. And then you go and cuddle and play this whole fairy tale. I just feel like she's setting herself up for like a huge fall. But maybe she has to learn that way, because Dro is definitely getting like the benefits of the situation. Like, he basically seems to be calling the shots of when they see each other.
Listen, we need to decide whether we're friends who don't have sex or acquaintances who just have sex, because anything otherwise is a little muddy, and I need boundaries.
Okay, all right. What do you suggest we do then?
We fuck. That's it. No phone calls, no dates, no spending the night, no fucking in and trying to make pancakes.
But we love pancakes.
Nigga.
Okay. Yeah. That's fine.
What do you think we should do? And she basically says she just wants to be fuck buddies. And so she basically is looking at him like, okay, so that means, you know, you can head on out and get on out. She kind of looks at him to leave, and he's like, oh, right now? And she's like, yeah, get out, like, bye. Which I thought was pretty cool. She's trying to set, you know, boundaries. I'm big on boundaries, so kudos to you, bitch, for setting boundaries. Where Issa calls the schools that fired We Got Y'all, and kind of gets a little bit more info on why they didn't want We Got Y'all coming to the school anymore. And it's basically a lot of things that are having to do with race. Well, and I guess the lack of diversity in We Got Y'all. They're saying like, all the white people you sent were rude. And, you know, basically they're like, where your you know, pamphlet is full of black instructors and black kids and stuff like that, but then you send over these all white teachers. You know, there's only one black employee, and that's Issa. So, you know, they're feeling like the curriculum is very Eurocentric, and they feel like the logo is racist. You know, the little white hand holding up the black kids, which it kind of is. And it's so funny, like, just Latasha talked about that in her Insecure reviews before, and I was like, I thought that was the only one that noticed that it was like a little white hand holding the black children. But yeah, shout out to just Latasha. I can't wait to watch her Insecure review. She does really great Insecure reviews. She's, I think, a filmmaker, so she talks about it from the filmmaker's like point of view. So she's a good person to watch if you're looking for another Insecure review. But anywho, so what do we have? You know, they're telling her all these things, why they're not fucking with We Got Y'all no more. And Issa, you know, I guess takes this information so she can, I guess, share it with what's her name? The boss. But before she does that, I think we get another scene where Dre is calling Molly on the phone and kind of, you know, just talking to her as a friend, which is supposed to be off limits at this point, and he's still doing it. And she's kind of like, well, you know, you're not supposed to be like calling me. I just figured that, okay, we're seeing that this is her kind of weakness is when it comes to Dro, because she's, you know, setting boundaries in other areas and she doesn't really have a problem with it at this point. But when it comes to him, she's like a little bit, it's like a soft spot. And I think that's why she's trying to set the boundary, but she's kind of like already giving in with it, because he invites her to dinner and she agrees to go, which is like, okay, you just set this boundary and now you're just allowing him to just scoot and step right on over that bound, like he didn't even, you know. So then we get this scene where she shares the info that she received, the feedback she got from the schools with her boss, and her boss does basically everything short of cussing her out. Like, she kind of just looks at her like, no, you're the fucking problem around here. Like, what are you doing? We didn't want you being the voice of We Got Y'all. That's why we took your ass out the field and put you here in the office where you can't talk to nobody. And, you know, we don't want you talking to nobody. So the info that you gathered is pointless. You need to go figure out why the fuck you're so stupid. Like, that's basically what she said. But without cursing. But no, honestly, I think she went way too hard on Issa. She didn't say all of that, obviously, but she went way too hard on her. Like, she actually collected info that can help y'all, because a lot of the shit that they were saying was true, and y'all could actually improve with some simple changes. But she just totally blows Issa off as if it's all bull and dismisses her. And yeah, it was fucked up. And I hope she gets back, you know, what she's given right about now, late in a later episode, whatever her fucking name is. And Frida, you ain't there for your girl, because she was asking you for help and you're like, oh, I just got my position and I don't want to rock the boat. I'm not gonna go off on Frida just yet. See, I was about to go off on Frida. When I say about to, I mean I actually went off on Frida. And then I realized that maybe Frida doesn't know yet. I have to go back and watch. But yeah. Frida, though, I got my good eye on you, because she did ask you for help probably before she did the research, and you wasn't trying to help. So yeah, I'm still kind of fucking mad at ya. But anyway, So then we get the scene with Issa in the party lift. Well, she's kind of created a party lift. It's just her and Molly with snacks in her lift, picking up people, and they're calling it a party lift. And she gets, a really cute rider, I guess you could say, by the name of, what was his name? Nathan. So yeah, we get to meet Nathan, who is kind of a little light-skinned, light-eyed, kind of brown-haired fella, very cute. He's a very cute guy. I liked his vibe. He had like a very chill vibe. So he kind of reminded me of Dustin Ross from the Friend Zone. Like his energy kind of reminded me of him. I'm not sure why, but yeah, he just had a very cool, his tone and everything like that. He was just very cool. So we meet him, and he kind of defends Issa's lift. He defends the honor of her lift when she gets a rider who's like basically rolling up a blunt in the back, and she's like, "Can you not do that?" And he's like, "Y'all bitches said this was a party lift. Like, what's what?" And so he kind of steps in and he's like, "The lady asked you to put out the weed," or something to that effect. And he's like, "No." So he I think he takes his weed and throws it out the window, and they proceed to skirmish. Shout out to Alexander Rogers. They proceed to skirmish in the back of the lift, or in the back of Issa's car, and I guess he was getting the best of the dude, because he pops out and he runs away when she pulls over. It was a pretty funny scene when Issa started screaming. Molly's like, "Pull over," and they just started screaming. It was pretty cool. It was pretty funny. But yeah, when she finally pulls over, he runs off. He's like, I'm sorry. He runs off. And the guy in the back is kind of whimpering as something done happened to his eye. I don't know. But, they're like, homeboy's not okay. So, I think later we get this scene with Issa and Daniel where she finally admits to him that she still has feelings for him, which is like, girl, what took you so long? But yeah, she admits that she has feelings for him, and he's kind of just like, I think he just thinks she's full of shit either way. But he's just like, well, what is it then? First you said it was because I was close to work. Now you saying you got feelings. Like, what is it? Which one? And she's just like, I don't know, both. And he's just like, you're full of shit. And he basically is getting an attitude with her, as he should, because I don't know. When she was saying he's close to work and all that, that was kind of cold. She should have just said it then, that she had feelings for him. She should have just said it then. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why she was hiding. I don't know. Maybe she felt insecure. Because she knows he had a girlfriend and she doesn't want to expose her feelings for him. I don't know. But yeah, she finally tells him that, she knew that he would be there for her, and that, she needed that at that point in her life. So, that's where she went, to where she could get what she needed, because her brother was going to drive her crazy, basically, if she lived with him. So yeah, she finally is honest with him, and she's like, she lets him know, like, you're also fucked up for doing what you did the other night. Like, we have history, and you're gonna have this chick in there when I'm laying on the couch, and y'all are making like all the noise in the fucking world. Like, that's fucked up. And he kind of just goes, yeah, or some shit, and just walks away. Like, I was like, okay, see, what you not gonna do? What you not gonna do is say yeah and then turn around and walk away. Okay, that's what we not going to, right? It would have been some furniture moving in that motherfucking apartment. But he walks in the room and closes the door. And yeah, I think we seen her get a tip, like a $50 tip from Nathan. I don't know if that happened at that point, but we saw it. Okay, she got a $50 tip from Nathan, and it was cute. So I forgot about the scene where her and Dro talk, where he lets himself in, you know, so that they can have, I guess, one of their sessions. But she's looking around like, oh, you just let yourself in. So okay, we're doing that. Can I have my key back? And he doesn't seem to be pleased with the fact that she's asking for the key back. And, you know, she says something like, well, just because you and your wife, you know, can do whatever you want and blah, 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 blah. Something about, you know, everybody not wanting it that messy. He seems like he's not too keen on her mentioning his wife, because he's like, don't talk about me and my wife too. And I'm just like, what? How? Like, yo, he got hella defensive, like, don't talk about my wife. I was like, bitch, get your ass out then and go back to your wife then, bitch. Why you here? Ooh, I was looking at him like, your ugly haircut having ass, wiggly worm looking ass. Ooh, I couldn't stand him in that moment. I was like, Molly, just tell him, just call security. Because, you know, she got that concierge and all that in her building because she got all the money. Girl, have security remove him. Don't even talk to him any further. But yeah, now he had me and Molly fucked up in that minute, and I was just like, boy, please. All of a sudden, Dro is so concerned about his wife. Bye. So that's the end of that scene. And then I think the last shot is her, you know, just realizing that she has nothing to do, and I think she ends up going back out, make some more money, drive and lift. So yeah, that was the episode. It did feel a little bit incomplete, but I think it's because last season the first episode ended on such a moment of what, that I was thinking that this would be the same, and it wasn't, and that's okay. I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. I'm sure I will have a moment or two where I go, oh, in another episode. So yeah, thanks y'all for hanging in there. If y'all are still listening, hope everybody's doing good. Leave me a comment. I'd really appreciate it. I love talking to y'all. So yeah, have a good day. Bye.